down and defeats a team of greater ability. Play for pride. You're hearing that said a lot today regarding the York Yeomen. Welcome, everybody, to Varsity Stadium in Toronto. I'm Michael Landsberg. The Yeomen have to play with pride. They have to raise their game up a lot if they're going to contend with the U of T Blues. This has been a frustrating season for the York Yeomen, and it's also the season where I think people involved in the program are saying what could have been. The season started out very interestingly. They opened up against the defending OUAA champs, the Western Mustangs, and with Adam Carlson back in the lineup, they lost but scored 28 points against Western. Now, how many teams have done that? But Carlson got hurt, and since then, in the 3 games that they played, they've scored 4 points. Now, to stand here and tell you that Carlson's loss has meant a lot would, of course, be understating it, but in your mind, going beyond simply the quarterback position, what has it meant to the team?
Well, Carlson was really the KG veteran on this football team. He's been around the OUAA for a number of years, and they have a very young football team. If you take a look at their offensive line, they have 4 of their 6 starters are all first-year people. Carlson gave them confidence. He gave them ability. When he went down against Windsor, they put people in now that were inexperienced. I think they lost confidence, and they're going to have to struggle. They're going to struggle the rest of the year.
There's no question that they have been struggling. We hope that will change tonight. But we asked Coach Tom Arnott walked by their poor season so far. I think the Blues are really frustrated. They're 2-2. This was supposed to be their year, and offensively, they're just not playing very well.
No, I think that's the key, too. It's offensively. Defensively, they played okay. They've been playing pretty tough football. Offensively, they just can't seem to get their game on track. And I think everybody had a high level of confidence coming back this year because of Lauren King. Now, he's been injured for most of the season. And their quarterback, Eugene Buccigrassi. Buccigrassi just hasn't got a handle on things so far this year.
Buccigrassi, for instance, last week was benched for part of the game. Well, that's what we asked Coach Bob Lako about Buccigrassi and about the offense in general. This was an offense that was supposed to score a lot of points. So far, they certainly haven't.
Well, I think scoring points is a team thing, and first of all, it's not just the job of the offense, although certainly they move the football. But we've scored fewer points as a result of really our team not being productive in all the elements of scoring. Our quarterback really is the figurehead in offense, but he's actually 200 yards ahead of his pace last year after 4 league games. So we're really looking at the whole team being just more involved and more productive.
Jimmy, you haven't taken a look at the films as you break down the offense. What do you see as the key for U of T?
Well, given the fact that Lauren King has been hurt for most of the year and that he is, in fact, coming back from injury, he's still not going to be up to snuff right now. It's going to be their quarterback that we just spoke about 2 seconds ago, Eugene Buccigrassi. Buccigrassi is a typical sprint-out passer. They love to get him outside, and the way they block it, they just bring their both eye backs, bring him outside, they try to secure the corner. Now, Buccigrassi is only about 5 feet 9 inches tall. They like to get him outside so that he has a clear view downfield. Now, one thing, when he's starting to sprint out here, we can stop it right here. You'll see that he realizes that they have, in fact, contained. So he's pulling up, and you can see contained out the bottom of the screen. He's going to pull up and step up so he's a clear view downfield. Now, he can throw the ball downfield fairly deep, and he likes to go to either Brian Zomer or, in this case, Bob Anderson. You can see he has a fine bunch of receivers in that football team.
But Buccigrassi has not had many plays like that so far this season, and I know that Bob Lako is expecting Buccigrassi to play better and the offense in general. So what do you think is going to happen? Mr. 4-0 Jamie Bone so far in his predictions, who's taken the favorite every week. Big deal you're saying at home. I'm saying it right here as well.
I think sentimentally, I would like to see York win. I know sentimentally you would not because you went to the University of Toronto.
I try not to bring sentimentality in, but obviously I bring a certain professionalism to it that you're not. But go ahead.
I'm going to pick the best team. I think I would like to see York give it a good game and possibly win, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think that York are probably sitting there saying, hey, Alberta, they upset the 2 #1 teams in a row nationally last week or in the week before. Maybe we have a chance to do it tonight. I don't think so. I think it's going to be U of T by 3 touchdowns.
You know, I would like to predict against you because it's sort of a recreational activity for me, but I don't think I can. There's no question that not only does U of T have a better team, but this game means a lot to them. Boy, does it ever. They want to make the playoffs, of course. They've got a great shot at it, but they could finish 3rd potentially. They want to avoid facing the Western Mustangs in the first round. So I'm going to go with the Yeomen, but I've just got a sense that they might raise their game up and play with the pride we've been talking about. Coach Tom Arnott said to me, you know, it's so badly want to put on a show for the people across Canada. I really want my team to do well, and I want these young players to show that they do have some ability. So I think that maybe the York Yeomen will make it a little closer than you expect. We'll find out. Stay with us. This is the annual. The Yeomen will wear predominantly white. They'll kick it off left to right against the fittingly U of T Blues. And this is Brian Zomer from inside his 20, and he takes it well over midfield, and Zomer takes it to the 51-yard line of the York Yeomen. One of the problems that Bob Lako said he felt was with his team were the specialty teams. They just weren't getting the explosive returns. As Eugene Buccigrassi will start, he gave way last week to Mario Storino, who played a little bit. Storino, many have looked at as the quarterback of the future, but last week the future became the present very quickly. Buccigrassi back at quarterback.
Now, Michael, I just have a quick question for you. In the opening of the broadcast, you said that you, in fact, picked the York Yeomen to win this football game.
Well, what I meant was, I think they'll make it closer than you expect, but I think the Blues will win.
Oh, I think it's too late to change. The kickoff's already happened.
52-yard line, the Blues have it. Lorne King, first time we've seen him carry the ball, and he's got ample room to the right side, all kinds of room, and King picks up 15 yards as we set this U of T offense that's been very disappointing so far this season. Offensive line along the left side with Pagnello, Vasilis, and Tassoni, not that experienced. On the right side, Scandifio and OUAA All-Star, and Morris, the top lineman in all of football last year. Buccigrassi, Bokelman, and King. Bokelman and King will split time between tailback and fullback. The receivers on the outside, some speed with Zomer and Anderson, Sopko, and Rowe start inside. First and 10, 37-yard line, and it's Lorne King again. Very seldom does one player bring down King. Shelton did a good job, but King still picked up 6 at 2nd and 4.
Well, let's just update people on Lorne King. He missed the first couple of games this season because he had a foot problem. Sit in the inside of his toe, actually. He had turf toe problems because the field at York or at U of T is quite hard.
York defense will line up like this. Basically a 43 defense. Mullings, Julian, Logan, and Holder. Holder has played middle linebacker at times. This time it's Floro, Mann at linebacker, and the secondary lines up like this. 2nd down and 4. King, big hole to the left side. He had one man to beat, and he beat him, and now it's a foot race. Lorne King wins it going away. 3 plays from scrimmage, 3 plays from King, 6-0 U of T.
Now that looks like the old Lorne King that we used to see last year. And if there's been anybody who's been frustrated by his inability to play, it has been Lorne King. This is just straight isolation block inside. You can see he's got one man to beat. And then it's just a foot race to the end zone for Lorne King.
I think it was Jimmy Singh, one of the defensive backs, that moved up, and Singh was the only one who literally had even a hand on him, and Singh didn't even slow him down. Lorne King missed all of the first 3 games with turf toe, and part of last week's game, he basically only played a half, had 11 carries for 33 yards. He's got more than that already. As a matter of fact, he's got 53 yards so far on the 3 carries, and the U of T Blues, who wanted more offense, have got it so far.
Take a look at Lorne King. That's going to be Eugene Buccigrassi's best friend because he's going to take all the pressure off of Eugene.
Well, we know that U of T has some offense. The question is, does York have it? Ray Edgeworth, he's got some peak speed, and he's a D18. Not a bad return onto the 38-yard line where the York Yeomen will begin. All kinds of first-year players throughout this lineup. Tom Arnott has said, hey, if we're going to lose, we'll use with youth, and hopefully sometime in the future, the fact that we played those guys will pay off. Scoring drive looked like this. Looked a lot like Lorne King, actually. 3 plays, 52 yards, all 3 on the ground. The final 31 from King. The previous 21 also from King, so all 3 carries by Lorne King in the U of T Blues. Lead it by a score of 7-0. Just underway at Varsity Stadium. Michael Lansford along with Jamie Bone. The Yeomen begin. They've got Perry Apostolopoulos at quarterback, and he goes right to work. Did he go down? No, he stayed up. And now he throws it well over the head of T.J. Edgeworth. Apostolopoulos making his first start at quarterback.
Well, when they lost Adam Carlson,
2nd and 10. To the air they go, and they're not going to get the completion, and almost an interception right off the chest of number 2, Sal Natale.
Number 22, Dave Blanche there on the defensive coverage.
And the Yeomen have to kick it away. Now, I said that this one, in my opinion, might be closer than you expected. Looks like I might be wrong. They go on the fast snap. U of T comes after, and they almost get to him and roughing the kicker, so the Yeomen will get a break. They've got to be careful just not to make a mistake here and get a penalty, and if they don't get a penalty, which they didn't, they will scrimmage the ball from above midfield to a break for the York Yeomen. Jim Andenoff, the Neil Denton is the deep back in the out. 3 backs in the backfield, but now leads. Here's Denton's first carry of the game. Low center of gravity, and he turns to the outside. Great arm, and he's still on his feet. What a beautiful run by Neil Denton, and I love the straight arm.
Oh, it's just a beautiful run by Neil Denton. 5'9", 209 pounds. He can get it all going. They get outside. Now, he reads the block so well. He thinks, hey, we got to get around the corner here. There's no contain. And a great straight arm right there on Peter Papoutzis. And he just gets hauled down here by Dave Blanche, number 22. What a great straight arm.
I mean, he didn't just push him away. He heaved him down. Denton just pushed out of bounds at the 5-yard line, which is where the Yeomen are. We're just underway.
Wow, he's got speed.
He kicked it in gear to the outside. Here's Denton. Down to about the 2.5-yard line, so he got half the job done. High right, 40.
You know what? You got to keep out of the way.
Second down and goal to go from the 2.5-yard line for the Yeomen to trail the game 7-0. Denton again.
Oh, they have to give it to Denton. I think what they should do is go left, lock everybody down, leave with a fullback kick out, and shoot Denton right up in there into the end zone. They've got all the angles.
Left side, Denton. That was the call, but it didn't work, and he didn't pick up much. Maybe down to the 2-yard line. And I don't think there's any question Tom Arnott's got to go for it.
They're going for it.
Now you have to go for it here.
You know, how often are you going to be down there? That has to be your attitude. We get down there, we got to get 7. Not pleased with the official for some reason, but third down and goal just outside the 2-yard line. You better hurry. Play was blown in a while ago.
That's their first touchdown. It's the first game of the season when they scored 20.
Over at his 20-yard line. And they'll call this one back. Actually, 2 markers come down, regardless of seen a pass reception yet, but we've seen lots of great offense. But 120 yards on the part of both teams, all of it on the ground. Team lines up in the slot. Goldman brought down from behind. Nice tackle by number 58 of the York Yeomen. That's United. So the scoring drive looked like this: 7 plays, 72 yards, all on the ground, all from Neil Denton. There were 2 passing plays. They were both incompletions. Denton got him down to the 2 and then took him the final 2 yards on a key third down and goal play. 5 was a pickup for Marcus Volkelman. 2nd and 5. Both receivers wide to the left at the bottom of your screen. Here's Lorne King to the right. And King finds some room and just got swooped it around from below, but here he goes. They run everything to the right side, and well, everything being 4 plays. Grassi's first pass of the game over the head of King, and he made a good
Birchmount Park in Scarborough.
2nd down and 10. Yeoman would love to stop him and get the ball back in the hands of Denton. Grassi breaks free, and now Grassi's got a first down. That's for the... But it's been fun to watch. 1st and 10. 18. King, right side again. Yards, I believe. And more. Not much more. Oh, good job at the end of that run by King. Inside the 5, down to the 2-yard line. They needed to make it to about the 1 for a first down.
I like the way U of T run option, because when they give that option look, they also pull the backside guard, number 55, Peter Vasilla, so they look like they have trap inside. And Buccigroski pumps, pulls out, and he finds the open receiver downfield. Brian Zomer.
Our first pass completion of the game. An 8-yarder. It's 2nd down and 2. could achieve a first down just inside the 1-yard line. King stopped and fell forward, but I don't think he got the first down. Block, which they do. Zomer. Oh, the coach.
He's trying to drop off a lot, hoping he'll throw into the coverage.
But it's tough, though, when you're only got 4 guys out on the pattern as the Yeoman had, and they've got 8 guys covering. King left this side. He's got great balance, you know that. He gets hit, and then it's like the fun begins.
And he also has great lateral movement. He just seems to slide outside and bounce outside all the time when he gets around the corner.
Player considered by many one of the top in the nation, and here's a good example of his balance.
And a great block by number 24, Marcus Volkelman, on the outside linebacker to get Lauren King free outside.
I guess if I had to categorize Lauren King, I'd say he's obviously a fine runner, but a great stumbler. You know, when he gets twisted around and someone grabs him and he starts falling, he picks up that 5. Volkelman, the face of Volkelman, and carried by Volkelman. He had his back to us. I didn't think he had the ball, but apparently he did. And I guess for U of T, unfortunately, he did.
That was Marcus Volkelman started tailback against Western when we did a broadcast earlier in the season. Lauren King, that's an afternoon for a lot of players. 8 rushes, 124 yards, 1 touchdown. And there's 2 minutes left in the first quarter.
Well, just on the U of T side of midfield. Comes a rush from the backside. Buccigrotti can run, but he can't run this time. A big. A physical equation, mass equals momentum times velocity. Well, a punter that size, this ball should be moving. It's moved far, and the Yeoman will get a no-yards call as well.
My clock's in show business.
King wears number 33. King. And King needed to make it just beyond the 35. About 3 inches. And it's surprising considering the fact that he needs that much. I mean, I'm just estimating. Usually the officials will call for a measurement. Giro's kick. Hilario. No, it's Paul. And Paul not much on the return. Only to the 38-yard line. And that's where the Yeoman will begin. Away. Peter Brown, touchdown. I don't think we can call that a block kick. Let's call it a grab kick. Does he ever kick it?
He almost took it out of midair. Defensive lineman's dream. Peter Brown out of Uxbridge Secondary School gets a touchdown.
Handed off. Went to drop the ball to kick it, and it actually went through the hands of Peter Brown at that point. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. Stuart Brindle on for the conversion attempt. Successful.
Knowing the offense.
Let's see if the Blues keep it on the ground or if they do go up top. Buccigrotti option play from King. Buccigrotti exercises his option to carry it. Pick up maybe 6, it'll be 2nd and 4. They run the option in a different way than a lot of teams. 2nd and 3. King. First down, but just barely. Good pursuit by the Yeoman that time. Looks like King would have a lot more running room. All Hilario. Looks very rusty.
And they have most of their tough games out of the way.
Buccigrotti wide open. Murray Socko. Socko inside the 25. Out of the 22-yard line. King trying to take it the final 22. Pretty close to a first down as he followed Marcus Volkelman into the line.
Well, U of T are starting to make it look easy when they're running the ball outside. There's just no fill on behalf of York. You just look. You hardly see any defenders at all, and when you do see them, Lauren King's already 5 or 6 yards downfield. They're securing the corner and getting King around, and he gets his shoulders facing north-south. He's a very dangerous back.
9.5 yards. Second and just a teeny bit for the U of T Blues. Now King's inside the 5-yard line. Really made the first down uncontested. Nice job by Paul Hilario, number 14, the cornerback, to meet King head on and prevent him from, or at least delay him from scoring the touchdown. 17-7, U of T leads the York Yeomen. Second down and goal from the 1-yard line.
Nice job by 14. Paul Hilario comes in from his corner spot and puts a hit on Lauren King, preventing him from getting into the end zone. One of the veterans in third year, Philip Pocock Secondary School. They have a number from Philip Pocock on this York Yeoman team.
King over the top, touchdown, U of T. King second of the game. And it's 23-7 halfway through the second quarter. Hey. Now his injury, missing the first 3 games, was turf toe. Here's Wayne Roberts in his first carry of the game. Now Roberts, I think, is more suited to fullback than Marcus Volkelman, isn't he? Volkelman is not a real big guy and was very comfortable running out of the halfback position and did very well in King's absence.
Yeah, he had 100 yards rushing in the other game that we had done against Western earlier this season. And he is the leading ball carrier on the football team. I agree with you, Michael. I think he feels much more comfortable being in the tailback position.
King's injury was turf toe, right?
That's correct.
Second and 2, Volkelman. And he followed the block of Roberts. Roberts and Hilario, I don't know whether you saw it on the front of that play, big collision.
It was a great block by Dwayne Roberts.
I don't know if it was a block. I don't know exactly what the category was.
That's what it is. It's a block, yeah. Just because he didn't knock him on his butt doesn't mean it's a block. He almost engulfed him when he blocked him. You're going to see Hilario goes down to try and take him out, but that's as good as a block you're going to get.
Oh,
the defensive back takes himself out of the play.
Absolutely. First and 10, 25-yard line for the Blues, trying to add to their 17-point lead. One thing I can say for the Yeomen, they have been spirited. Every tackle has been a gang tackle. Now, some of them have been 40 yards downfield, but I think that Tom Arnott has to be pleased with the effort, not the result so far.
And it looks at this time in the ball game as well that U of T are starting to run a little bit more to their left. They're not as experienced on their left-hand side. They have Pagnello at tackle, and they also have Vasilis at guard. Not as experienced as the right side with Candiffio and Morris, so they're giving these guys some work.
Buccigrassi, nice job by the Yeomen that time to shut it down. That's about the only thing that hasn't worked today for the U of T Blues, and they'll attempt a field goal, this time from the 32-yard line.
That's the interesting. Number 65 for York, Robert Logan, he just kind of falls through. He almost takes Buccigrassi out without even realizing it. There's not much running room for Buccigrassi.
Funny how the philosophy of the option is there's always something there. Well, he fakes it.
On a punt. Get outside and then go straight upfield. Don't worry about stringing it out once you bust through it. That was the move right there.
He stops and goes.
And he gets outside. Now, Bernakis ends up coming in here and helping assist on the tackle.
Cooper brought it out, or down to the 39, and here's Volkelman. Not much running room, but don't blame Wayne Roberts, number 9. He gives a lead block, pushed his man 15 yards downfield. Watch number 9. Number 9 to the right of your screen. He's a lead blocker. Now watch. Watch what he does to 27. I mean, 27 ain't nowhere close to the play. 27's Jimmy Singh. Second and long, though. for the Blues. Wants Zomer deep. And he had Zomer deep, but elected not to throw it. Buccigrossy, not going to get to the outside this time. Really nice pursuit by Brian Mullings, who's made a couple of good plays.
Well, King tries to pull up, Buccigrossy tries to pull up, and then he gets outside, but Brian Mullings seems to be there once again. And pretty good contain, forced Buccigrossy outside.
I don't know whether he didn't understand where Zomer was going or what, but Zomer was hoping.
But he played it pretty well because he didn't allow Buccigrossy to get outside. He was going to collapse him inside him. When Buccigrossy went outside, he had the speed to go out and get him.
Nice job by the York defense. 1:27 to play, and Blues will kick it away. Big Lou Giro to kick. Off the side of his foot, out of bounds, and they might get the 7 seconds left. Buccigrossy wants Zomer deep, and he throws to Zomer, and it goes right through the hands. Nice pass by Buccigrossy.
Well, you don't see that very often from Brian Zomer. Nice pass on the run by Eugene Buccigrossy. They really love to get him outside, and that's his element when he gets outside because he is such a threat to run.
Lauren King back in the ball game. James, what do you think? Draw or screen to Lauren King? Good call?
Sounds like a great call right now.
Okay, Coach. Let's see. 2nd and 10. 20 seconds to play. Buccigrossy needs a block. Inside the 20-yard line to the 16. Kaden Vogelman in the backfield. Anderson wide to the right. Zomer wide to the left. Buccigrossy for the touchdown.
Wow, they can just run that play all day long. That just looks like quarterback draw, but he delays it.
I think I can read the list. They weren't a lot more than 87 yards, so it was all Denton, and it looked good to start. It doesn't look good right now for the York Yeomen. One half is done. We'll be back with the second half, and the question really right now is the Blues by how much?
Today is different because today a bright new line of import-inspired cars has come to your neighborhood. They're called Geo, sold and serviced by one of the largest dealer networks in Canada. They're designed to give you years of carefree driving. Today is different, and we invite you to get to know Geo. They're just around the corner at your Chevrolet Geo dealer.
Famous U of T alumni, including certainly a man whose name is still familiar around CIU football circles, Heck Creighton, the man who's had the Outstanding Player Award named after. And some others as the York Yeomen head in for the second half. First half wasn't great for the Yeomen, 34-7. The Blues lead it right now. And again, it started pretty well. The Yeomen answered a scoring drive by U of T with one of their own, but since then they've had trouble getting anything going. First half statistics, first of all, down the left side, just 3 first downs, all from Neil Denton. He had 87 of their 88 yards rushing. They only had 17 yards passing, I guess. The good news is they only made 1 turnover. On the right side, though, the Blues, 9 first downs, 246 yards on the ground. Of that from Lauren King, 154 of the yards from Lauren King, 46 through the air, no turnovers, and that's where we stand after one half of football.
It almost sounds like a trivia question. Who is the other back to gain only 1 yard in the first half for the York Yeomen?
I believe it was probably the quarterback. Apostolopoulos, probably. Blues will kick it off. Wearing their customary blue, Yeoman will occupy the right side of your screen. Nice return by one of the shortbacks, Jimmy Singh, and he brings it out to the 43-yard line. Are we surprised that the U of T Blues are leading tonight? Well, I don't think you should be surprised if you look back at history. Head-to-head, the Blues have won 17 of the 20 matchups. Total points, not even close. Average score, the Yeomen are in trouble to reach the average, 30-11.
And all of those York victories came in succession, 1984, 1985, and 86.
The game in 1986, I was broadcasting with Tuff United. That was one of the best games that I've seen. Kerry Douglas, I believe it was, with a long touchdown run with just seconds left to win it for the Yeomen. What a great game. First time option we've seen from the York Yeomen, and Neil Denton loves that hard running, and he does it at 45. Says he likes to run, as we heard in the halftime. Likes to play football to relax.
Well, York is not known as an option team now. The other thing here that Leo has to do is he has to make sure that he works inside of the shoulder of the linebacker, but U of T defends that pretty well, and it's something that U of T has seen, obviously, because they run it themselves, so I'm sure they get to see it in practice.
Now, you got to clarify that. Say with inside the shoulder of the linebacker?
Yeah, because he's the option man, and we're to commit.
Just underway in the second half. Michael Landsberg along with Jamie Bone as we watch York and U of T in their annual Red Blue Bowl. And then we're off to Calgary on Saturday to watch the annual Shrine Bowl between Calgary and Alberta. Option, Buccigrassi, big hole. He has got good speed, and Buccigrassi. Now, was that Anderson pop him down?
Yeah, it looked like a great tackle by Blues.
Wide to the right. Blues haven't looked deep all day, and I guess brings it out of the backfield. He's got Sobko. Well, the first was for 31. This one, only 3.
Nice quick out. They just do a little bench 3 yards out, and they turn it up the field. And after a nice tackle by George Valensis, who we've seen in performances here the last few years, but his old partner is not out here. Jimmy Sparopoulos is in fact graduated.
I'll clarify what Jimmy means for the second and 7. Pressure up the middle. Buccigrassi throws, and he's got Anderson over the middle. Lauren King's first carry of the second half. Bogle gave him a block, and King did the rest. Second and 4. King and Vogelman in behind Buccigrassi. Knocked away. Good rush by the Yeomen on that play. Perhaps their best penetration of the game. And Tom Arnott elected to go for the blitz that time, and it paid off.
Well, they're gambling a little bit here. They're trying to overwhelm U of T, and this is the kind of situation that they want to keep Buccigrassi out of normally drop back. But the person who made a great play in there was number 51, Mark Holder. He was a 6th-round draft choice last year, the Edmonton Eskimos, and an all-conference linebacker in the OUAA.
So a field goal attempt by Stuart Brindle, 2 for 3 so far. Excuse me, 2 for 2, and he's at the 26-yard line this time. Three of his receivers. On that play, not a lot of support from the offensive line. I guess when it goes well, playing quarterback, probably a great time. Probably not a lot of fun at this point, though, for either Leo or Apostolopoulos. Short to the 48. He's got explosive speed. And the thing there was Darude. He started in the middle, went to the left, went to the right, and ended up with a pretty nice return. And a reminder to stay tuned immediately following this game for the TO.
U of T team that has been beaten by York, because he was on that team in 1986, which was York's last victory in the Red and Blue Bowl.
We get this drive from the 48-yard line. Fake to King. Backside pressure. Look out. And well, Thought it was interesting. Roberts and King both went right, then stopped and went back. Buccigrassi going to run and not going to make the first down. Although he carried a couple of men for about 8 yards, he's still short. Out of fourth place and moving to third in the OUAA because fourth means playing first, which will likely be Western in J.W. Little Stadium. Lou Tiro, a twisting spiral, forces Paul back into his end zone. Free ball! Touchdown! Is it? If it's not a touchdown, it's the 1 yard line. Still no indication. Now, can you advance the muff punt? Because if you can, it's a...
Nothing fancy, just blocked down. They go right over John Pagliello, number 63.
Can you see much of King? You see him, well, you don't see him at all. And first down for York, pretty close to a first down. First carry of the game for number 31, Ed Sesnick, who's been in the game for every single down. And he's got the dirty pants to show it. Plays fullback on every down, and he gets his first carry with 4:03 to play in the third quarter. And he gets hurt on his first carry. But I used to come to the games and I used to just pray that they wouldn't. And they do, and what a tackle. There haven't been many highlights, but there's one for the Yeomen. Wow, number 50, Peter Floro.
I'll tell you what, you don't see very many hits like this on Lauren King. He just shoots the gap and bang, right through him.
Second and 14. Mario Cerrito in the football game, and he's not.
In about 2 or 3 years, I think York's going to have a fine football team.
I hope so, because of all the coaches and men that I've met, I don't think I've met anyone that I like more than Tom Arnold. Really a nice guy. And a nice punt by Big Lou Tiro. A hefty punter and punt. Now this 22 and some running room for Hilario. Nice kick, nice return. Nice field position. For York, that is.
And Paul Hilario has done a great job. Not only his defensive back spot tonight, he's been on a lot of key tackles, but here's a guy, again, who shows great enthusiasm. He's trying hard. He knows his team has no hope of winning this football game, let alone win any games this season, but he continues to try hard.
67 yards. Paul Jordan, the key was a close to a clip, but no clip that sprung him. Now, before the game, Bob Lako said, you know, one of the differences between this year and last year is we haven't returned a punt for a touchdown this year.
Well, Rick Aldrich is the individual from York that gets blasted here, number 55.
There it was right there.
And then it's straight down the sideline. Now, he kind of taunts George Valencius here just a little bit, slowing down and just kind of walked into the end zone. What the heck? And I tell you, it looks like York is pretty close to that because they look like they really did want to win. They're continuing to try all the time, but they just don't seem to have the gun. This is a great punt return by Brian Zomer, and it looks like he's going to go all the way once he breaks it right here inside of George Valencius. But now, at the bottom of your screen, you're going to see Neil Denton, number 33. I'll tell you what, Zomer has pretty good speed, so it gives you an indication of what kind of wheels Neil Denton has.
3 to play, 51-7. Cerrito fakes, and what speed? He's got the strong arm, and touchdown! Len Morrison in the game for the first time, and Denton sees his hard work go for naught.
But we can see what kind of an arm Cerrito has, play action pass. And he throws this all the way over the other side of the field. And he doesn't really look like he really fires that thing. He just lays it out there, but he has a strong arm. Big guy, 6'3", 200. There's a lot of leverage behind that football. And just out of the reach of Paul Hilario. Strictly tossed outside. Nice block. He just give it to Muxlow now. He just kind of jogs it in the rest of the way.
Can we say that number 61, the offensive lineman, Andrew, stepped in, did his job there? Did you see where he had his man?
Yeah, he really did a nice job. That whole offensive line for U of T's done a great job. Running back, you have to make a decision. You're either going to be the guy getting hit, or you're going to be the guy doing the hitting.
I don't know why it is, because I never played football at that level, but it seems like if you can watch a player and read something into it, it hurts less to give a hit than get one.
Oh, absolutely.
The collision might be the same.
Absolutely. And psychologically, it's a big difference for you as well. And here I am, knowing from experience playing quarterback, of course, delivering a lot of good blows in my day.
Third and about a foot. I'm not sure it makes any difference. 65-7. Torino. Back. I guess there's two trains of thought. On one hand, you say the game's 60 minutes and the team's entitled to do anything they want. And from our perspective here, televising the game, you want a full effort all the way. But on the other hand, at 65-7, you could make a case for not rubbing it in.
No, but I think you owe your opponent the respect to play 60 minutes. And that doesn't mean that you're trying to run trick plays or you're trying to play hard.
Let's go, team! Come on, take five! Second down and 16. For scoring points, it's your play selection. If you're throwing the deep pass, then then you can say, hey, they're trying to rub it in. And I think that you have to distinguish between university football and professional football. I know when I pay for a ticket and I go to a professional game, you expect, and it bothers me when a team sits on the ball for the final quarter. I'm saying, I paid money to get in here. These are professionals.
Yeah.
But university's different. You've got young players sometimes on the other side, and there's no reason to rub it in.
Well, no, I agree, and that's why I say I think if you can show the respect to the other team by just playing hard. I've been in football games in my career, Michael, where the opposition put in defensive linemen at quarterback, they put in linebackers at wide receiver, and to me that's not good sportsmanship because they were just trying to embarrass the team that was on at the time, and that's just not the proper way to play football. That's not beating you, that's trying to humiliate you, and I don't think anybody wants to try and do that in this game.
Well, about 2 minutes into this football game, Neil Denton scored on a 2-yard run. The York Yeomen will try to score their first points since then. A 30-yard field goal attempt by George Valentis. No, it's a fake, and it's a beautiful pass dropped by Natali.
It looks like a train coming around the corner.
His head was bobbing and weaving, and the limbs were flying all over. Mike Catalano. Wow. First time that we've seen him carry.
Look at this. I mean, this is unbelievable. He's just kicking it out. Looks like he's riding a bucking bronco right there when he gets around that corner.
It looked like there was an imaginary tackler. Like he made this move and took a hit. There was no one near him.
Just excited to be in this football game, I'm sure. Ready to play.
Much slow. For 27 seconds to play. I say give it back to Catalano.
Yeah, he's an exciting guy to watch.
That was like a boxer's shadow boxing. Neil Denton.
Nobody left up! Come on, dude! Nobody left up!
Here's Catalano, but we didn't get to see him in the open field. 8 seconds to play now. The U of T Blues will win it. We've known that since about early in the second quarter. It actually was a close game for a time. U of T opened it up, a 3-play drive, 57 yards, all of it by Lorne King. The Yeomen got the ball back, ran 2 plays, forced a punt, but erupting the kicker penalty. And the Yeomen then drove the ball 67 yards on 4 plays, all from Neil Detton. 7-7. We had a football game. But since then, 58 unanswered points. Final play of the game. And Mario Storino goes down on one knee mercifully, and that's it. The 1991 Red Blue Bowl goes blue. Tom Arnott said he just hopes we played well on national television. I don't know whether you can say his team played well, but I think you can say that they played with pride and gave it their best. And as a coach, what else can you ask for?
But you know, and I think in fairness, I think that they played better this year than they did last year, and they won.
The York Yeomen 7 will return with our turning point and lots more when we return to Varsity Studio. Apple Auto Glass. James, what do you have?
Michael, we had to go back, all the way back to the first quarter. Score 10-7 in favor of U of T. Looked like York was going to get something going, but Peter Brown came in and blocked this John Andenoff punt, and he rambles into the end zone, 25 yards to give U of T a 17-7 lead, and they went on to win it 65-7.
I can't. Figuratively on the York Yeomen, and the sun has set in Toronto on a beautiful night for football. Beautiful night certainly for the U of T Blues. 65-7 they win it, and a great night for Lorne King. Lorne King missed the first 3 games, part of last week's game. You're back. I guess the first question, and you've heard this often, how's the toe?
The toe is fine now. It bothered me for a little bit early on in the season, and that's why I missed the 3 games, but right now it feels fine.
How did you feel coming into this game, Lauren? Last week you had 11 carries, 31 yards. Seemed to go your whole way today.
Well, yeah, I was working hard in practice. I had been out for 5 weeks, and I was trying to really get my timing back. I was hoping to have a good game. I paid a lot of attention to the little things in practice, but all in all, I guess I was confident. I had a good practice. The team was looking good, and luckily I played well.
How frustrating was it for you, not only to be missing football games, but I guess also in the big picture, missing games that the Blues lost? That had to really affect you, knowing that you really could have helped by being in there.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, you know. But if I'm hurt, then I'm just like a cheerleader. I just have to pick up that role and do something to help the team. It was frustrating, but you know, I'm back now, so that's what I'm concentrating on.
Now, Lauren, we're going to take a look at if you take a look at the screen down there, we're going to show your long touchdown run. Can you
I can
describe it for us?
Okay, roll it. All right, I think this one is I'm just going a straight dive up the middle, and I saw a little break there. The safety came in the way. I broke away from him to the left, and I took it in.
Now, did I hear you say roll it?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, that's
what they say in the movies, don't they?
That's exactly the right word. You're playing director out there. Any other instructions to the guys in the crowd? How about tighten up on the shot?
Sorry, guys.
No, that's great.
Okay.
As far as you're concerned, are you disappointed with the 3-2 record right now, or did people expect maybe too much of the Blues?
Well, I am a little bit disappointed. You know, I think every ball player wants to come in and win every game they played. Especially last week we played Laurier and we didn't score a point. The offense was criticized heavily for that. And so, yeah, I thought that maybe we could have done better and we should have done better, but, you know, maybe we're back on the road to success.
Do you think it's going to be a little bit easier for you now, Lauren, that the easy part of your schedule faces you guys the next couple of games?
Well, definitely. You know, I think you have to give credit to Weston and Laurier. They are tough teams. Waterloo as well. I think it should be easier, but I do think, you know, all the teams we're going to be facing are going to be tough.
Lauren, I know all of us have enjoyed watching you the past couple of years. Do you intend on hopefully playing in the Canadian Football League next year? And if you have, what have the scouts told you so far?
Well, the scouts, they're funny people. They just come up to you and they say, all of a sudden you're looking good. They haven't said much more than that. I'd love to play in the CFL if I can. And, I'm just waiting for draft day to see what happens.
What are your short-term goals? You're not going to get that 818 yards this year. You're not going to be that 1,000-yard rusher in the OUAA. First of all, your personal goals for this season, and also is it a little bit frustrating to see players like Tom Chartier and Tim Tyndale, who look like they may assault former U of T player Mark Bragagnolo's record of 1,078 yards, I believe it is.
Yeah, I think it was 1,018. My short-term goal is just to play every game the best I can. I'd like to get a few yards, a few carries, show what I can do, and basically win for the team. I guess my personal goals for the season have really been put aside because of my setback, and now basically I just have team goals.
Lauren, thanks for joining us. Two things. First of all, anyone to say hi to?
Yes, I'd like to say hi to two special people in my life, Tracy and Brandon, and my father, who might be at home or might be here. I'm not too sure.
And one final thing, since you were playing director, why don't you tell me, wrap it up, Michael.
Okay, wrap it up, Michael.
Thanks, Lauren.
All right, then. Bye-bye.
Lauren King, player of the game today, had a great game, and certainly it's a big boost for the U of T Blues as they head down the stretch to have their star running back, who I think might be as good as any running back in the country. So up to the second standings, and the OUAA look like this. The U of T Blues, with their victory, have 6 points. That's a current tie with Waterloo, although Waterloo, Western, and Laurier all have games in hand. It looks like it will be Laurier, Western, Waterloo, and Toronto. The only question is, in what order will they enter the playoffs? The Blues certainly would like